Hello and welcome to the Flory Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 18th of August 2023 after a lovely week. Really good week this week. I must admit, I've been pushing on very nicely with this little lockdown in here. We finished off obviously Blue Thunder, we did that one. We finished off, well, started and finished off the Bandai TIE Interceptor as well, which went very nicely. And obviously, as you can see here, hopefully, big progress along with the actual Harrier as well, which we'll have a proper look at in a moment. But the light is at the end of the tunnel and I'm feeling pretty optimistic now that we can really push through with this one. I wouldn't say I'm getting bored with it. It's just a hell of a lot of work. There's a lot more work than even I thought. And I'm one of these people who thinks if it's going to take me a month to build a kit, I usually think it's probably going to be 2. This is actually one of those ones. I've lost count now the amount of coats of primer, filler, primer, sanding, wet sanding, dry sanding and all the rest of it that this thing's had. So hopefully it's paying a little bit of dividends now and it will make the rest of the process pretty straightforward anyway, but good one with that. Anyway, all started on Saturday. Sorry, got a little slow there. Obviously, we had a live show on Saturday morning. Thank you so much to everybody who joined us. Obviously, it was great to have YouTube chat on. Obviously, with the Flory family, as always, you guys are amazing. Thank you for all your purchases as well. Obviously, you got a lot of stuff in the sales. Obviously, Flory Models had a big sale, and then obviously PM Models had one as well with the guys down in there. And actually, we did a little bit of work, a little bit of building, and stuff like that as well. So, congratulations to everybody. But it was a real fun day. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I love doing the live stuff anyway, as you've probably realised by now. But if you want to go up and catch up with that one for a couple of hours, you can do. It is available on the site right now. Then on Monday, it was back onto the Harrier, and as you can see, we're into the filling and sanding stage in there, and that's what that one was all about. So literally, it is what it says. Seam filling. Again, I'm hopeful that you'll get a lot out of this particular video build, especially learning different techniques, because to be honest, I think I've used every technique there is on this thing. Through, you know, we've used super glue and talc, we've used traditional fillers, we're using plastic shims in here, you name it, we've bloody used it. It seems to be on this kit. But anyway, lots of good stuff on here, so you can see all about that one. We were making that what I call wet cement rather than concrete out of super glue and talcum powder, so it literally self-levels and flows. It's a bit weird, but anyway, I show all about that one down in there. And really, we were going through getting this thing all sealed up and then basically seeing exactly what we had at the end of it. And again, a little bit of reprofiling and reshaping. This top engine cover, I just didn't like the way it was. Almost a 90-degree step. It was horrible. So we actually built up some layers, which enabled us to actually get properly in amongst it and go through and give us a nice smoothed over finish. You know, the angles that the kit gives you is just, I don't know, it's not right in my eye anyway. So I went through. What this means is though, we lose a hell of a lot of detail right the way through. One of the big things is this, the nasty step at the back. You can probably see with the ruler, we needed to bring it up. It's not totally level, but it's as near as damn it. It definitely is a hump up here on this part of the wing, up on the left side here, and then it should go level down to the tail. But with this one, as you can see, clearly there's a bit of a problem. So we were building it up. So again, good old fashioned getting in there with the super glue and talc, making up some concrete, sticking that on, and then the case going through sanding and filling until we profiled it a lot better. So now hopefully we've got the hump, as I call it, and then it just drops down and goes straight, and that's exactly what we wanted. So lots of information all about filling. So if you ever need to know anything about sanding and filling, this is definitely the video build for you, because there's a hell of a lot involved with it. But the light is at the end of the tunnel. It definitely was there, as you can see. Members, you can go off and you can actually catch up with this one, as with all of them. If you just click in, it will take you off to the build, and you can see the photo build for it as well. So even if you're not a member, you can see exactly how it goes together. I've got a little description and then loads of high-res photos. So literally you just pop along to any of them and you just literally click in, and it'll take you off to a nice clean high-res image as well, so you can see all about that. Just for everyone who's asking about, when are we going to sell, are we going to do the files, what are we doing with the 3D stuff that we've done for all this, they will be on sale. You'll be able to buy the actual 3D printed parts at the end of this month. All right, so I've just got to sort out some packaging for them, and then obviously I've got to get the printer into overdrive, but you will be able to actually buy the seat, the nozzles and the sidewinders, basically the sets I've used for this particular build. All right, so if you want to actually get hold of those, you can. We're not selling them as 3D files for you to print yourselves, but you can buy the actual parts, and I think they're going to be very reasonably priced as well. All right, so anyway, if you want to catch up with that one, you can do that there. Tuesday we're into the live show, and Blue Thunder was completely finished off. So we finished old Blue Thunder down in here. And then obviously throughout the show we were talking and yapping. I was talking about sanding and things like that, and then I've made a start on the actual TIE Fighter, and I showed you that you can actually build a Bandai kit in a little over 20 minutes. And whilst Matt was basically cleaning up, and as you can see all the bits of his 3D printed figure that he's been working on, and then we were going through talking all things 3D printed and stuff like that. So you can catch up with the live show. It is available to anybody to watch, and it's obviously streamed on YouTube, and if you want to join in with the YouTube chat and the comments and the various bits and pieces, you can do as well. So you can catch up with that one just down in there. Then obviously on the Wednesday show it was the PM show, so it's all things PM models. So it's obviously what's going on, what new kit releases are coming out, and various things we were talking about in there. And we were talking about the actual Spitfire in there. Was it the one I showed the video build of? I was busy. There you go. You can see an old classic build, which is free to watch as well on the Seafire. So if you want to catch up with that one, you can. We were talking about obviously upcoming releases like the Gannet, which we're looking forward to seeing, and all other kits that are coming out at the moment. And obviously we're answering your questions at the back of the show as well. So if you want to catch up with anything there, you can do as well. So if you need anything from PM, various bits and pieces, you can see that just there. Then yesterday we were back at it again. So another live show, and as you can see, literally me and Matt were working our way through. Matt was obviously back on his figure, but what really Matt was doing a lot of this time was actually doing the weathering and the painting and the oil work and everything onto his Land Rover, whilst I painted and then fitted together and then fully weathered the actual Bandai TIE Fighter as well. And I was showing about dry brushing techniques, whilst Matt was showing about doing oils and stippling and things, and going right the way through. He's working on that gorgeous canvas and really bringing it all to life right the way through. So plenty of build stuff this week as we were making our way on with this one. And again, if you want to catch up with this one, you can go back. There you go, weathered, unweathered. So showing you down on there with those ones. And again, I've done a little bit more to it, which you can see in a minute. But if you want to catch up with any of Thursday shows, obviously answering all your questions, all the gossip, or just chat in general, if you want a nice relaxed afternoon for an hour and a half, you feel free to join us every Tuesday and every other Thursday afternoon, just like that. And that gets us bang up to today, where we got part 8 of the Harrier. So again, bit of a momentous occasion. We got the final coat of primer on after we were all done, after wet and drying it. As you can see, we lost all the detail on this kit now, basically. It's all gone. So it's a case of trying to put it all back in. And that's what this particular video is all about. So we go through the process of rescribing and re-riveting the entire thing. Which, to be honest, it's one of those things. It seems a massive job, but you just throw yourself into it and get going. And apologise, this is my attempt at freehand scribing, which clearly is not very good. But going through, and obviously all the different techniques. So obviously different scribers. We're talking about how we get the thing. So I'm measuring the line so it's accurate on the other side. So we get a mirror image, things like that, and rough placement and things. And then obviously we're talking about curved shapes and using tapes for going around corners and all the different bits and pieces with it like that. And then obviously we're talking about doing circles, using pins, and say me freehanding it, as you can see down in here, to get the Harrier all together. Then it was a case of going through and re-riveting the entire thing as well. Fun. So as you can imagine, it's a big old job on this one, and I'm happy to report, if I make some room here, she is now all done. So again, so another coat of primer just afterwards. To be honest, I've literally just painted the intakes white. I'm going to mask these up this afternoon, and then we can actually get some paint on it, hopefully over the weekend, or if not, it'll be on Monday on for this one. Canopy is all masked up and put in there as well, so that is all good. That's gone well. We've done the actual bit on the speed brake, which I forgot to do. There's a couple of little touch-ups down in there, but generally now we've got a Harrier on our hands, which is, it's just one of those ones where, I'll be honest with you, I am so happy to be at this stage, you know, but it's one of those. It was, if I had taken a few shortcuts and said, oh, we won't worry about it, I know for a fact I'll be looking at it going, I really wish I'd done it. This is one of those kits where you're probably not going to build another one, let's face it. So if you're going to do it, you might as well put the time in and get it done right. So light is definitely the end of the tunnel now. I'm really, really happy about this. As I say, we get this masked up down in the white work, make sure that's all good, and then we can get the paint on it as well. So again, that'll be really, really nice. We're going to do tons more onto this kit as well. We're going to do all the weather into it, getting it all looking really nice. We're going to detail up the gear for it, all the bits and pieces. Obviously got these fantastic 3D nozzles as well, which should actually make this kit. So I'm hopeful by the end of next week we'll be pretty much onto its gear and sat here and be ready to go through the weathering and stuff like that. But no, I must admit, I actually love this kit now. It's one of those ones, I know I sound about funny when I talk about these, but sometimes when you're building a kit, it can be either a very memorable build or it can be such a nice build you don't really remember it. And as you say, I build between 12 and 15 full builds a year, some of the quicker stuff on top of that as well. But generally, it's always these kits that have taken that little bit of effort, which I've got a great fondness for. And this will join the realms of my Mac 2 VC10, for instance, and kits like that, that took a little bit more work, a little bit more, you know, effort to put into it, to push through and turn out with something really nice. And those type of kits always hold a really special place in my heart. But I look around and some of the other ones and I think, I don't even remember really building that one, and that's because it's probably a fantastic kit that went together with no problems at all. But again, you get something that you have to get a bit more creative with, a few more modelling skills, things like that. That's where I absolutely love, and that's what I love about the hobby. Don't get me wrong, I love to build straight out of the box. Bandai, for instance, it's a step up from Lego. It just goes together, it's so easy. But at the end of the day, it's still one of those things where you can put as much detail into it, or you could just straightforward out of the box. You don't even have to paint it with some of these. Anyway, the other one as well is old Blue Plunder, we've nicknamed it. All done and finished off. Thank you to everybody who gave comments and various details on this one and some reference photos and all stuff like that. It has been an absolute blast of a build. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's one of those kits where it's a golden classic of monogram, and it's just a shame that we don't see them anymore. And apparently this kit is a fortune online if you wanted to buy one, because I know some people are trying to get it again. So a big thank you, because obviously this kit was given to me and I've done it as a build. So again, that will have a very special place in my display case very shortly. The other one, obviously we finished off now, but I'll do a little tiny bit more to it, is this guy. If we zoom in a camera, we might get one a bit closer, move some stuff. But there we go. This is the tie interceptor. As I say, it took about 20 minutes to build it and probably around about an hour to actually do the painting and weathering and all the rest of it onto it. But it has been a lot of fun. Really nice. I've still got to do a couple of bits to it, to be honest. We're going to do inside here as well, a bit of dry brushing in there, things like that. And again, I might actually end up gluing it all together, because again, it's got some just little seams popping out, which shouldn't do, but they do. But really nice. Remember, you can see all these builds and everything else, just pop along to the actual live shows, and you'll find them all down in there. But that was a nice one to work on as well. The other big thing was this lump. When I say lump, it is an absolute stunning kit. I'd say it with total fondness. I've been a real fan of HK models for many years, and like I've said in the reviews and that, I've always felt that they've been a little bit overshadowed, shall we say, by other manufacturers. So, you know, to be honest, when the Lancaster came along, Wingnut Wings suddenly chirp up and say they're doing a 30-second one, which blew, obviously, their one out of the water. But hey, look what happened to that. But at the end of the day, then it happened again with the Mosquito, with Tamiya come along. So obviously 30-second Mosquito, everyone gets quite excited, and then Tamiya do it. And every time they've been bested by something, there's been a better option that's come out and done it. This one, though, completely rewrites the books now, because this is an absolute stunning kit. And I'd say I have my little thing where I call sort of B kits, A kits, AA kits and AAA kits. And AAA kits, I put things like Bandai and Tamiya and things like that in there. And I've always said with these guys, they're an A, you know, because again, it's a big kit, but there's not a ton of detail to it. This one suddenly has jumped right up to a AAA kit. It's a lot of money. It's like 230 quid, I think this kit is. But again, you get so much to it. You've got fully detailed interior to it. You've got obviously the sort of skinning onto this one. So it's got canning or stress skin effects and stuff like that. And it is all up there. You can go off and see the review now. It is up on the site down in here. But again, the instructions are very nice. They're clear, easy to follow. The decals are nice and clear. Nice bit of photo etch down in there. But again, the actual stress skin on the outside is absolutely fantastic. It's one of those ones which is a real beauty to build. Again, unfortunately, I don't think you're going to see much of this detail on the inside, but hey, it's there, including all the wiring and plumbing and everything else, as you can see. And again, that stress skin looking absolutely fantastic right the way over the kit. So I imagine if you're going to build this one, it's going to be a long slog, but it's going to give you something extra special at the end of it. And I think if you go to town with the weathering onto it, you'll end up with something very, very nice. But as you can see, from my point of view on this particular kit, really all I think it needs is a set of gun barrels for it. Aftermarket gun barrels, I think, will actually make this kit. The kit ones are a bit, yeah. So again, a nice set of turned brass ones from Master Barrel, someone else like that, and you will end up with something absolute stunning. A little bit of wiring maybe in the engines. Oh, fantastic. Anyway, this is John's kit on the forum, so we're expecting John to build this over the next 2 decades. So if you want to follow along with his work, join the Thursday shows and you can see all about those ones. But no, I must admit, I'm really impressed with this. Well done to actually HK Models. You've really set the bar very, very high, and I can't wait for your other releases, especially when you do release this, because I know you will, in 1/48 scale. I say, I know they will. I don't. I'm just hoping they will, because I want to build it in 1/48 so it can go along with the B25. And then obviously my Lancaster and B17 as well. So if they do, I'll be over the moon. It's a little bit big for me, but love to see that kit in 1/48. Anyway, rounding off the show, don't forget, over at the PM store, we've got various bits and pieces have come in this week. So we've got the FW190s, the 1/35 scale ones. We've got the British Mark 1 Apaches. We've got the Zipper from Edard, and obviously we've got the Seafire in, and there you go, there's that Havoc, which is a whopping £240. But honestly, you do get your money's worth with that particular kit, because you've got something in there that's going to take you a while to get going with it. Also, over on the special section, obviously this is being changed out daily if you've been following any of our daily shows. We've got the F51 Mustang. It's very nice down in there. We've got the Bronco as well, 1/48 scale, which is nice. We've got the Scimitar tank just down in there as well. We've got the Bedford tanker, the little water tanker there. We've got the Sherman from Rubicon. So, and obviously we've got the T-34. Talking Bandai as well. This is the little very, very small one. I don't know what scale is that? 1 to 1,400, well, 1 to 14,500 scale. It would have to be that as well. So if you want to grab one of those and all of these other ones, remember, if you don't know how it works, what happens is once these get sold out, so we've probably only got a few of these, that's why they're in here, but once they've sold out, they get replaced on the same day. So that one gets changed out for something else. So this list changed continuously over the hours of the day. All right. So just keep an eye on it. Grab yourself a bargain. You can get one of those in there as well. Don't forget, we've had huge restocks of AK, so we've had new paints, glues and all the rest of it and everything else in, plus I've had all the other ones as well, because they're coming in daily at the moment as well. All right, and then hopefully next week we'll have a little bit of an announcement as well to make about one of our bits we'll be carrying in here as well. All right, so very, very good. But if you want anything, pop over to pmodelsuk.com. Obviously that's Matt, Andy and Lisa over there, and they'll get you sorted and get your orders out to you straight away. And that is about it for this week. Really busy week, really pushing on. Really, really glad we're on top of the Harrier now, because it means in some ways I might start another project, because again, we can get 2 on the go now. Now this is off the bench and it's not covered in dust and junk everywhere, I can actually start something else. Also, obviously with the Bandai one basically completed as well, I'm going to think about another kit we'll do. So again, like we did before, I'll put up a poll. Obviously members, you'll be able to vote on which one you want me to build next. I'll put a few options up probably on Tuesday for the Tuesday show. No show actually on Monday, because to be honest with you, I've got to get a little bit of footage. You're pretty much up to date to where I am now, and I'm not going to get much bench time over the weekend. I've got to do family things. So, but hopefully this will be pushed on very, very much by next week as we make our way through. Anyway, that's it from me on Here We Are on Friday. I'm going to leave you with your great work from the gallery, which is a whopping 2 weeks worth. So it goes on for a little bit. I think around about 30 or 40 ones to have a look at. Amazing work as ever, so please stick around for that. So till Monday, everybody, happy modelling. Take care.
I was not ready to fall in like I'm wasted. My heart grows heavy. Don't taste me rushing and keep your words naked. You got me blushing, and you forever I'll follow. You'll be my holy guessing for the answers. No